The NBA Finals ended yesterday.
Go Nuggets.
Yeah, that was your sport?
That was my sport.
I would get so nervous. Just a lot of like life lessons can be learned. Yes, we are recording.
What's up?
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Concept Kitchen.
Welcome. This is Ava.
We've got a little baby guest here.
My kid decided to cry for a little bit, so
crying.
she's joining us for this episode.
Yes, I think she'll contribute some good ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
My wife is in the back.
But I just wanted to do maybe a quick one here.
Okay.
But I think there's some really interesting ideas here. So,
Yeah.
As of recording today, the NBA Finals ended yesterday.
Go Nuggets.
And I was really excited. Just because this NBA season I thought was really awesome because we didn't know who was going to win until towards the end.
Yeah.
But also, I was just really happy for the Denver Nuggets and specifically for Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Yes.
The two leading players. I think we'll get to Jokic in a bit, but I was just, there was a lot of, shots of Jamal Murray, just how emotional he was, finally winning because, for those who don't know, he tore his ACL, which is pretty bad. I think something else because he was out for 2 postseasons. And like there's stories of how he thought he was going to get traded because he's so injured and Jokic is like wasting these prime years of getting MVPs but can't go on playoff runs because he's missing teammates and yet the Nuggets were really loyal to him.
They kept him.
They saw what he did in the bubble 2 years ago. He was pretty awesome. I went back to look up. He had a 40-point game.
Oh my.
40-point game, 50-point game, 40-point game.
Dang, dude.
3 in a row.
Right.
Pretty incredible.
MVP numbers, okay.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And, gets injured. He actually had a really bad start to this season.
Yeah.
But then, man, he pulled it together in the playoffs. And so to see him, like, finally, be a major contributing factor and go all the way, I thought was really inspiring.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, like, all he had to go through physically, mentally,
come back
as
from.
well, to come back from that. And I was like, just reminded of like, a lot of people, watch sports because it's fun or they like playing the sport.
Sure.
Unfortunately, a lot of people watch sports because they bet on them.
Yeah.
There's money involved. That's why these teams work because they have money. But at the end of the day, I love sports and actually any team kind of game and competition because of just a lot of like life lessons can be learned, I think, from them.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
I know you're not much of an athlete yourself, but I think it applies to not necessarily athletic sports, but even something like that could be like a purely mental team game or something like that, team challenge. But so just a quick story. I played basketball. Growing up from my school. I went to a small private school, so it wasn't much competition to get on the team.
Gotcha.
But we were actually pretty good in our small little league. I remember, we played second place in my 7th grade and like first place in the league, 8th grade. Again, it's not that impressive. A small like 8-team league or something.
Still, nice.
But those were actually really formative times for me because. I remember when I loved basketball growing up.
Okay.
Play on the playground every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
Play after school. But when I started playing like on the team, I would get so nervous. I remember before every game, like my heart's pounding. I get that like kind of like chill feeling.
Yeah.
I guess people call it butterflies. I never understood that, but I think that's what people are talking about.
Okay.
Where I'm just like,
Shake.
Oh my gosh, a little bit like shaky and like, man, when I would touch the ball, I would freak out.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like so good on the playground, but man, playing for real is just so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot, I think, by having to go through that process and become just kind of more resilient. Like it's just a game. Like I don't have to be so scared. Like people aren't going to value me differently if I mess up.
Yeah.
But working through that until like by 8th grade, I was like very confident in myself. I knew I was one of the top options for the team and like they were counting on me and like, so that was a really big lesson I learned from sports. So that's just one of my fond memories
Absolutely.
growing up. And I think it was really formative. Do you have any
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike? Yeah,
Counter-Strike with my
that was your
friends.
sport.
That was my sport. I remember feeling similar chills when round one starts 0-0 and we're playing against this team, and there's just this weird chill where, oh man, I don't want to mess up.
Yeah. So you'd
pressure.
actually play like competitive?
It's like semi-competitive.
Okay.
It's like I think called Cal Leagues or CBG or whatever it was. I don't remember even.
Okay, but you felt that pressure.
I felt the pressure. Because you want to you want to make the shot. You want to not let down your team. You want to make sure you do your part.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of pressure.
Did you ever get over that?
I did. Yeah, for sure. As play a couple games, you get over it. Play a couple 100 games, you get over it. You learn to. I think you just learn to make mistakes and being okay. Mm-hmm. I never really got that good.
Sure. Yeah, this is being good.
I definitely enjoyed it and felt the pressure less. I almost expected the pressure.
Okay.
And so then it didn't feel as nerve-wracking when I felt it.
Yeah. That's an interesting example, right?
Yeah.
Like esports are huge these days.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a very similar feeling.
Sure.
And kind of ideas here of, just kind of like what we learn through games and sports.
Yeah.
It's because it's almost like, I don't know, I liken games or competition like this to like kind of test beds of real life.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to go through experiences in real life where you face actual pressure.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have big disappointments like Jamal Murray, where like things totally out of your control are going to happen to you and derail you.
Yeah.
And like you can't like get so upset or like despair over that. That's right? Because like it wasn't like they're not going to be in your control, and it's just going to happen. Yeah. So I think looking back to Jamal Murray, like I think we can really look at him as a lesson of man, like things are going to happen. Yeah. Like you can push through, but also to, not despair.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what's going to happen. Like I think if we ask him now, he might actually be really glad that he went through that, which is really interesting, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be really glad that he got injured.
Yeah.
God forbid, right? We don't want that to happen, but he's going to say he learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
And like pushing through that and actually, having teammates be still confident in him through that. Like
100%.
I think he learned a lot from that. And I think, man, we should look for opportunities in life for that in our lives. It doesn't have to be athletic sports like I mentioned.
Yeah.
Could be esports. I don't know.
Yeah,
not
or even
condoning
just
it,
going through hard things, like family issues or whatever it may be. I forgot where exactly I heard it, but it's not necessarily good to have happened, but maybe it's good to have been looking back on it.
Interesting. It's not necessarily good to have happened.
Yeah.
Like the event was kind of bad.
Yeah.
But because it happened, the results of it are good, you could say.
Right. Right.
I like that. Yeah.
I can't take credit for it. I don't know what it is.
Someone said that.
But
that's a big idea to chew on, I think.
Yeah.
Things that were not necessarily good to have happened, but you're glad that they did happen still. Yeah. Huh. I'm going to sit on that one for a bit.
Definitely going to let that marinate for a bit.
That one's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Quick one?
I think, no, just a follow-up, actually.
Okay.
I wanted to go to Jokic.
Yeah.
We're back to a different topic now.
Yes.
But still.
MVP.
On Jokic. I was just, he's become, I think, one of my favorite players.
Oh, I love this guy.
Just because, every interview, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just basketball.
It's basketball.
And, it's so funny, when he wins the championship, people are like, oh, yeah, you excited for the parade? And he's like, wait, when's the parade? What? It's Thursday. No, I have to go home.
Yeah, he's going to Serbia, right?
Yeah, he wants to go back to Serbia, his home country, because he loves horse racing. That's his thing. And
exactly.
It's so funny. After literally on the court right after the game.
Here's this multimillionaire.
Yeah, he gets asked how do you feel now that you've accomplished it? He's like, oh, it's good. The job's done. We can go home now.
Yeah.
It's
he just loves basketball.
Yeah, he just doesn't take himself so seriously.
Yeah.
That this is life and death, he's not all about his promoting himself or his brand, he's just out there to be, he said his favorite thing of winning a championship is the experience of doing it with his team.
Nice.
And the relationships and trust that he's built with his team.
Nice.
Not necessarily the accomplishment. Obviously that's the goal, and that's how they built their relationships.
Yeah.
But that's what he wanted. And so, like, I just love hearing some players like that.
Absolutely.
And because, yeah, it just brings perspective, you know. We get all so serious. Like, I was just talking about how important, you know, sports are. But, like, at the end of the day, it's still a game,
Yeah.
right? And real life is a lot more important. And, you know, people get so caught up in, like, people's legacies and who's better than who.
Yeah.
And there's this guy who's just destroying everyone, and he doesn't really care if he continues or not. He's, like, setting all these records.
Yeah.
Like most points, assists, and rebounds
Yeah.
across all players in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Most triple doubles in a single postseason. And he's just like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really appreciate that. You know, I think
For sure.
I think we need a little more of that. Like
Humility.
yeah, just being humble.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'm not a big deal. I'm just here with my teammates. Like, we just want to have fun here.
Yeah.
I think some other players like that, there's not many actually, but Giannis is one actually like that.
Yeah.
Even though he, you know, suffered a really bad loss this year. Like,
Did you watch the failures?
yeah, he gave this big speech right now. This is not failure. And of course, all the media people are like, "What are you talking about? Of course, it's a failure.
Yeah.
Of course, you're a failure. Yeah, you expected to win and you didn't. Therefore, failure." But he's looking at his life, not just his basketball season. And yeah, he also is just very humble and like down to earth. You know, he's not caught up in like, oh yeah, making the most money possible and like making himself like a brand, you know, across that will last forever. Yeah. He's just, you know, loves basketball and loves the people that he's met along the way.
Yeah. He's content. He's joyful.
Yeah,
He's playing the game.
And I can't actually think of any other current players that are like that. I'm sure there maybe less big stars are.
Yeah.
But if you know any, let us know in the chat. But
yeah,
like, it's so rare.
Yeah.
You know, like. Yeah, so many people. It's just like they're just obsessed about themselves and regarding athletics. Yeah. So I don't know. Any thoughts from about that or life lessons or ideas?
I guess the life lesson there is just it's never just about you, which is a good thing. Yeah. If it were, it'd be very boring or lonely.
Okay.
And I think it's more fun with a team. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can go as far without a team. Yeah. And I think Jokic would say the same thing. You know, just like you were saying earlier, without Jamal Murray, because he was hurt.
He couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah. Nikola couldn't be MVP as a champion, Denver wasn't able to make it to the championships, right? So, yeah, you need a team. And
yeah, I think that, like you said, that reflects, you know, real life. We need people. Yeah. And you can be awesome by yourself. Yeah. And that's great. You know, we like talking about that, who's the best individual player, because it's easier. Sure. And I think it's kind of reflects our own selfish desire, you know, to be individually compared, to not depend on other people. Yeah. But man, real life, you depend on other people, 100%, actually. Yeah.
And different people have different skills and different roles that they play. So then you kind of balance each other out.
Totally.
You can't all be Jokic.
Exactly. Yeah. A team of 5 Jokic's might seem awesome, but would probably be terrible because they couldn't play defense.
There you go. Yeah. Too slow.
Not that he's a bad defender. He actually did very well at his defense, but his team defense, he needed other players that were faster.
He's very big. It's hard to move.
But that's totally true. That's the whole point of teams, right?
It is,
you have roles. And it's okay to have a defined role. And, you know, we all want to be the superstar. We want there to be superstars that do everything, right, that carry the team. But that's really rare in real life, you know.
It's true.
Yeah, totally. So, I don't know how many people watching us love sports, but I think there's a lot of great stuff in sports to learn from, whether you like playing it or not. Agreed. Or other, you know, team activities. Yeah. I know there's individual sports and
just anything that requires team effort, I think. But, anything challenging.
Yeah, I think we can learn a lot from there. So if you've got ideas or concepts you think from team competition or sports, let us know.
Below.
We'll do an episode on that. A lot of good stuff. So, all right, your babies need some food, I think. So I think that's all we have for today. Nice short episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Bye-bye. All right.